A very good evening to all the future IAS officers. So let us begin with the first MCQ challenge. Consider the following statement. Number one, the weightage of food in consumer price index is higher than that in the wholesale price index. Number two, the wholesale price index does not capture changes in the prices of service, while the consumer price index does. Number three, Reserve Bank of India has now adopted wholesale price index as a wholesale price index as its key measure of inflation and to decide on changing the key policy rate. Which of the statement given above is correct? A 1 and 2 only, B 2 only, C 3 and D 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer here is now let us go in depth of the WPI and CPI. Wholesale price index represents the price of a basket of wholesale goods. Wholesale price index focuses on the price of goods that are traded between the corporation. It does not concentrate on the goods purchased by consumers. The wholesale price index measures the changes in the price of goods sold and traded in bulk by wholesale businesses to other businesses. The Office of Economic Advisor in the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry is responsible for compiling the wholesale price index and releasing it. The main objective of wholesale pricing index is monitoring price drift that reflect the demand and supply in manufacturing, construction, and industry. Wholesale price index helps in assessing the macroeconomic as well as the microeconomic conditions of an economy. It is most widely used inflation indicator in India. Major criticism of this index is that general public does not buy product at wholesale price. The base year of All India Wholesale Price Index has been revised from 2004-5 to 2011-12 in 2017. Now coming to consumer price index. This consumer price index measures the price changes from the perspective of a retail buyer. It is released by the National Statistical Office. The consumer price index calculates the difference in price of commodities and services such as food, medical care, education, electronics, etc., which Indian consumers buy for use. The consumer price index has several subgroups including food and beverages, fuel and light, housing and clothing, bedding and footwear. Four types of consumer price index are as follows. Consumer price index for industrial workers, consumer price index for agricultural laborers, consumer price index for rural laborers, consumer price index. Of these, the first three are compiled by the Labor Bureau in the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Fourth is compiled by the NSO in the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Base year for consumer price index is 2012. Recently, the Ministry of Labor and Employment released a new series of consumer price index for industrial worker with base year 2016. So the correct answer here is 1 and 2 only. If the RBI decides to adopt an expansionist monetary policy, which of the following would it not do? A. Number one, cut and optimize the statutory liquidity ratio. B. 2. Increase the marginal standing facility rate. 3. Cut the bank rate and repo rate. Now, expansionary monetary policy. An expansionary monetary policy is focused on expanding or increasing the money supply in an economy. This is also known as easy monetary policy. It is implemented by lowering the key interest rate, thus increasing the market liquidity, money supply. High market liquidity usually encourages more economic activity. When RBI adopts expansionary monetary policy, it decreases the policy rates, that is interest rates like the repo, reverse repo, MSF, bank rate, etc. Implications: it causes an increase in bond prices and a reduction in interest rates. Lower interest rates leads to higher level of capital investment. The lower interest rate makes the domestic bonds less attractive. So the demand for domestic bonds falls and the demand for foreign bonds increases. The demand for domestic currency falls and the demand for foreign currency rises, causing a decrease in exchange rate. Now, this value of domestic currency is now lower relative to foreign currency. A lower exchange rate causes exports to increase. imports to decrease, and the balance of trade to increase. Now, contractionary monetary policy. Contractionary monetary policy is focused on contracting the money supply in an economy. This is also known as tight monetary policy. A contractionary monetary policy is implemented by increasing the key results. So the correct option here is 2 only. That is B. In the context of India's preparation for climate smart agriculture, consider the following statement. Number one, the climate smart village approach of India is a part of project led by climate change, agriculture and food security. That is CC, climate change, agriculture and food security, CCAFS, an international research program. The project of CCAFS is carried out under the Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research, that is CGIAR, headquartered in France. The International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, that is ICRISAT, is in India is one of the CGIR's research center. Which of the given statements are correct? A 1 and 2 only, B 2 and 3 only, C 1 and 3 only, and D 1, 2 and 3. Now, climate smart agriculture, certain initiatives are related to it. Statement 1. Statement 1 is correct. The Climate Smart Village project in India is a program of CGIAR research program on climate change, agriculture and food security, CCAFS. The CCAFS starts piloting the Climate Smart Village in 2012 in Africa and South Asia. Statement 2 is correct. Climate change, agriculture and food security is carried out under CGIAR, formerly Consultative Group of International Agriculture Research. Headquarters of CGIAR is in Montpellier, France. CGIAR is a global partnership that unites the organizations engaged in research about the food security. Again, coming to statement 3. The International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, is a CGIAR research center. ICRISAT is a non-profit, non-political, public international research organization that conducts agriculture research for development in Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa with a wide range of partners. So the correct answer here is D 1, 2, and 3. Which of the following best describes the aim of Green India mission of the Government of India? Please click the link in the description box to join the Ultimate IAS Breakthrough Blueprint Masterclass. It covers all the important topics of prelims and mains in a foundation manner. Number one, incorporating environmental benefits and cost into the union and state budgets, thereby implementing the green accounting. Number two, launching the second green revolution to enhance agriculture output so as to ensure food security to one and all in the future. Number three, restoring and enhancing forest covers and responding to climate change by a combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. So the correct answer, A 1 only, B 2 and 3 only, C 3 only, and D 1, 2 and 3. Green India Mission. It was launched in 2014. It is one of the 8 missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC. Its objective is to respond to climate change by a combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. It is aimed at protecting, restoring, and enhancing India's diminishing forest cover. It is one of the main objectives in to enhance annual carbon dioxide sequestration by 50 to 60 million tons by 2020. Objectives of the Green India Mission: growth in forest or tree cover to 5 million hectares and increase the quality of forest cover in another 5 million hectares of forest or non-forest land. There are separate sub-targets for a variety of forests and their ecosystem. Increase the quality of degrading moderately dense forest 1.5 million hectares. Ecologically restore open forests which are being degraded 3 million hectares. Grassland revival 0.4 million hectares. Wetland revival 0.10 million hectares. Ecological restoration of shifting cultivation areas, mangroves, scrub, ravines, cold deserts, and abundant mining areas 1.8 million hectares with different sub-targets. Now, this increase in forest cover in urban areas and its outskirts is 0.20 million hectares. Increase in forest and tree cover on marginal agricultural land, fallows, and other non-forest land, which comes under agroforestry, that is 3 million hectares. Increase forest-based livelihood income for about 3 million households in and around these forest lands. increase carbon dioxide sequestration to a range of 50 to 60 million tons by 2020. So the correct answer here is D, 1, 2, and 3. Incorporating environmental benefits and costs into union and state budgets, thereby implementing the green accounting. Launching the second green revolution to enhance agricultural output as to ensure food security to one and all in the future. Restoring and enhancing forest cover and responding to climate change by a combination of adaptation and mitigation measures. Mission Indradhanush launched by the Government of India pertains to A. Immunization of children and pregnant women. B. Construction of smart cities across the country. C. India's own research for Earth-like planets. And D. New education policy. The correct answer here is A. Immunization of children and pregnant women. Universal Immunization Program in India was introduced in 1978 as an expanded program of immunization by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The program was modified as Universal Program of Immunization, that is UIP. UIP prevents mortality and morbidity in children and pregnant women against 12 vaccine preventable diseases. But in the past, it was seen that increase in immunization coverage has slowed down it, and it increased at the rate of 1% between 2009 and 2013. To accelerate the coverage, Mission Indradhanush was envisaged and implemented since 2015 to rapidly increase the full immunization cover to 90%. Mission Indradhanush was launched to fully immunize more than 89 lakh candidates, children who are either unvaccinated or partially vaccinated under the Universal Immunization Program. So the correct answer here is A. Immunization of children and pregnant women. With reference to treatment of cancerous tumor, a tool called cyber knife has make in this context, which of the following correct statement is not correct? A. It is a robotic image guided system. B. It delivers an extremely precise dose of radiation. It has the capability of achieving sub-millimeter accuracy. It can map the spread of tumor in the body. The correct answer here is D. With reference to treatment of cancerous tumor, a tool called CyberKnife has been. In this context, which of the following is correct? It can map the spread of the body. It is not correct. RNA interference technology, RNAi technology, has gained popularity in the last few years. Why? Number one, it used in developing gene silencing therapies. Number two, it can be used in developing therapies for treatment of cancer. Number three, it can be used to develop hormone replacement therapies. Number four, it can be used to produce crop plants and are resistant to viral pathogen. The correct answer here is A 1, 2, and 4. RNA interface technology has gained popularity and it can be used in gene silencing technique. It can be used in developing therapies for treatment of cancer. It can be used to produce crop plants that are resistant to viral pathogens. So correct answer here is 1, 2, and 4. That is A. What is the difference between asteroids and comets? Now, these asteroids orbit the sun and are small bodies in the solar system. They are made up of metals and rocks and also consist of organic compounds. They are similar to comets but don't have a comma like comet. Asteroids tend to have shorter and elliptical orbits. Astronomers have discovered millions of asteroids, some that measure hundreds of kilometers across and some as small as dust particles. Now, what are comets? Comets also orbit the sun and are relatively small bodies of the solar system. When comets approach the sun, some part of their ice melts. When some part of ice melts, the other material vaporizes due to heat of the sun. This results in glowing halo that extends outwards as though sailing through space. The ice and components like ammonia and methane develop a fudgy cloud-like shell known as coma. This is a notable difference between the coma and asteroids. So the correct answer here is B 1 and 3 only. That is, asteroids are small rocky planetoids while comets are formed of frozen gases held together by rock and comets show a perceptible glowing tail while asteroids do not.